Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most unprofessional professional podcast in the YouTube space, hosted by Zero Requiem. I am the host, and my
This
guest.
is your guest over here.
So, we're lighter on our crew tonight. Kevin is busy. Trev sold his soul to the mouse-shaped devil,
Mm,
but we make things work. It's kind of like when
Indeed.
we. It's funny because the last time we had just the two of us, it was like when when I brought the podcast like back randomly, and then
Mhm.
I just remember it was an episode with just both of us. How times have changed,
Oh
man.
yeah,
How times have
the
changed.
dynamic duo,
Oh yeah,
OG.
the original dynamic duo.
Yes, indeed, for the longest time.
Oh yeah, but a lot of things happened in the this past week. First things first, to get it out of the way. R.I.P. to Ozzy Osbourne. He's passed away.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to the freaking Prince of Darkness, man.
Yup.
Literally,
And
had
so,
a really it's so weird. Like the legend himself. You know what I mean? From the ground up, very much was unforgiving in terms of how he carried himself and his personality. He just said fuck it to everything and very much marched to the beat of his own drum. And I that's why I admired him a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of people very much dug the dark aesthetic that he brought to, and then there was also I also like the controversy that man held. You know what I mean? Coming from like a sort of a religious background and culture. This guy was known amongst the Christian community as Satan himself.
I mean, that's yeah. I do
So
remember seeing that. Like he was practically considered Satan.
yeah, and like which people would say, "Nah, stay away, stay away." You know what I mean? It's all dark black paths. And it's like, no, not really. It's just the way his aesthetic was, and you know what I mean. Rock and roll was very much about is very much about attitude still,
Hmm.
and yeah, you know what I mean. A lot of people would say like, "Oh man, his music's devil's music," and then like uh, maybe I think I've been kind of obsessed with the Osbournes as of late because they uploaded all of their old uh, reality show on YouTube, so
Hmm.
that's been really popular popping, and so like you know what I mean. Who knows? Maybe the family saw something was coming, and maybe they just started to upload all the stuff, and you know what I mean. I don't blame them for doing that. Um, yeah, the reason why I have a bit of passion talking about it is because well, I had a bit of a connection with uh with Ozzy. I never met the guy personally or anything like that, but the guy who wrote or helped write Crazy Train, the guitar player, his guitar player, because when Ozzy Osbourne was or when Ozzy was kicked out of Black Sabbath, uh, he basically went to go audition people for his newer band, and so uh, he found this kid from North Hollywood. Was the son of a music teacher who owned a music studio, music academy type place in North Hollywood, and that's where I took formal piano lessons by that guitar player's mother and that guitar player's brother. The guitar player is Randy Rhoads, of course, and
Hmm.
so his brother Kelly Rhoads taught me the basics for vocals, and his mom taught me the basics for piano. And I would see Randy and Ozzy's face in pictures all over the academy. So it was kind of like he's kind of like rock royalty to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, once again, shout out to the Prince of Darkness, and yeah, very much so. Keep on keeping on with everyone's attitude and you know what I mean? Your own personalities. Keep on rocking.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, just like what you said, like the fact that he marched to the beat of his own drum. It's just like it's just
Yeah.
crazy because I was like, man, he's still doing what he does
I
at
mean,
like
even
at his
after
age.
even after, you know what I mean? Because most of the backlash was all rooted from, even Ozzy hated hearing about it, was you know, the whole real event of this man devouring a freaking bat head in front of everyone.
Yeah.
So you gotta give the man just a little bit of props just for balls alone.
Yeah, he got the, oh yeah, he got the cojones for he got big cojones that day.
Basically, he had to get a bunch of rabies shots in his mouth,
Oh, I can only
like
imagine how bad that
multiple
was.
syringe. Like it's just miserable. He's
Yeah.
recounted it before, but it's just the way that you would see the dude in TV shows, you know what I mean, all rocked out. I just guarantee you, it's not just drugs. That rabies shot did a number on that man.
Oh, I bet. I fucking bet.
And so yeah, again, once again, that's one of my heroes. Was one of my heroes, and shout out to the whole family and everyone that's really helped inspire the guy
Mm-hmm.
to help inspire us.
Yep. Definitely, man. Yep. R.I.P. To the legend himself, man.
Indeed.
Jam
Prince
out,
of
jam
drag
out to
abuse,
his,
man.
jam out to his music for this week.
Indeed. Oh man, everywhere I've been going right now. I mean, radio. I was at the bar yesterday. They'd be blasting his stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm
hell
grateful.
yeah.
He is just exactly the way he wanted to be celebrated. No tears.
No tears.
Yeah.
Huh. Uh, um, and then another quick one that I actually just saw this morning, like literally before we recorded. So
Uh-huh.
Microsoft is backpedaling on $80 games this holiday. So at least like in terms
Ugh.
of upcoming games that are going to release this year, that's going to be under their publishing name. The Outer Worlds 2 and Black Ops 7 will not be $80. They will be 70. So
Good. Huh. I'm
hold off
sorry.
for now.
Yes, ten
But
dollars.
for
Yes.
now, but let's put it this way, unless you're a Game Pass owner, you can play them. For well, quote unquote free. But only time will tell what happens from that point on.
Seriously.
and,
Ugh.
and then one that kind of just started developing. I know you're not too familiar with this one, Josh. With the
Yeah.
Vishojo. So there's a big controversy with Vishojo, which is pretty much like one of the biggest VTuber agency companies. And to give the Cliff Notes version of it, one of their biggest players in that agency company, Iron Mouse, who set a lot of records, I believe last year, for like having like the most viewers on a stream, even beating out Kai Cenat, who is pretty much like Twitch's #1 streamer.
Literally.
Yeah, she beat out his record for like the most viewers on a stream. And first of all, congrats to her on that. And
Yeah.
she pretty much did like I believe a subathon for charity for I believe it's like an immunodeficiency disorder, something like that.
Okay.
It's a condition that she is dealing with, and that's why she can't.
Oh,
She's explained that that's why it's hard for her to go out in general.
okay.
So the controversy that came out of it was basically the shojo hasn't paid her and a lot of other people. And we're talking like 500,000 that was supposed to be donated by them. And a significant amount has not been paid by or paid to her, paid to the other members of that company, and mass exodus that and even one of the shoujo streamers quit on the spot, confronting her own CEO.
That's ridiculous.
So, and as far as I'm aware, I haven't heard a single person try to hold down the fort at Vishojo. But as far as what I've heard, everyone's leaving. Everyone has left.
Yeah. It's all weird. You go somewhere and then someone, plants themselves, they sprout the love and realize that the pot that they originally planted themselves in is too small for their roots to
Mm-hmm.
expand.
Yep. And
And well,
that's what's sad too, because like Vishojo, like we're talking like Vishojo is a $1 billion company. Like that's how big they are. They're
I just
billion.
feel like a lesser simpleton for not knowing who they
I
are.
mean, I mean, it's kind of amazing too, because like I know you kind of like you stay in your own lane too, in a way. But as someone who is pretty much just always who's practically always been watching YouTube and then keeping an eye on like kind of like the trends and stuff like that, it's just
Mm.
I'm just like that is crazy that essentially one of the giants is like crumbling, like right there.
What was that other network that you told me?
Mich-
Kick? The fuck is a kick like anymore?
Kick
What?
Kick is another streaming platform, but
Like, wow. I remember when that shit was just like, incognito social networking. When did this become you know what I
you
mean?
might be thinking of a different Kick then, because this Kick is literally just backed by another big streamer that I don't care about. And then all the people that got partnerships with them, at least a majority of them, I'm like, that is a pretty big list of degenerates that I've ever seen.
They
Like,
gotta start somewhere, right?
well, they're not gonna have the only thing they're gonna have is just them being bullied left and right because of how much of a joke they are. Because like someone that I don't like to wish downfall on a lot of people,
Mhm.
but there are certain individuals I'm like, it's kind of funny because you deserve it. Let's leave it at that. If
That's
you
funny.
like, and we're talking like they're just straight up like menaces to society, and I'm like, I'm amazed that I'm like, how have they not? It took them so long to be deplatformed as well. Like, well,
Ridiculous.
one of them is just straight up losing money. The other is supposedly he might be leaving Kick for Twitch, but I'm like, pfft. Even then, I'm like, yeah, like he's gonna last. I won't name. I mean, I'll try not to name names just because I'm not. I don't stream on Kick. It's probably like the easiest way to make money though off streaming, but even then, I'm like, where's that money coming from? That's why
Them
I was
checks.
skeptical. I was like, where's that money coming from?
Them billionaire checks.
Mm-hmm. So, yep. I just think I was just like, nope, I'm not gonna do Kick. Like, even in its the early days of it, I was like, I'm good. I'd rather.
Yeah.
And mind you, this was when I was kind of trying to go heavy on Twitch. Nowadays, I'm ultra passive now because of mostly just well, what we mentioned in like one of the old podcasts.
Mhm.
Some one thing I have a lot of stuff that works, and then there's still the one thing that doesn't like to cooperate. So I was just like, okay, so we're gonna pivot. Is what it is,
Pivoting.
but is what it is on that. Um, but yeah, I. But to get back to like stuff like that, yeah, Vishojo, I just think that's just insane. Still, nonetheless, the fact that a lot of that talent is just leaving.
Well, educate me a bit. What kind of content creators
I mean,
would you find on JoJo?
they're mostly just streamers. That's just what they are. Or so, and a lot of them are also like voice actors too. Like I know one of them plays one is in she's in Nikkei, she's in anime. She does a lot of voiceover work, and I just saw that she's leaving. But for the most part, VTubers are usually streamers. They're just like any other content creator for the most part.
Any notable ones?
Well, Iron Mouse is the most notable. I I'm blanking on names, but
Mhm.
I know I've heard like a couple of the names, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that one. Like I just know Iron Mouse. I believe her name is Amelie, the one I was mentioning earlier. And I feel like there's
Mhm.
another one that I can't remember right now. But basically, that company, like from the English division to the Japanese division, is pretty. They're pretty fucked. And just the fact that you had one of the Vishojo, one of their own creators, not only do a live stream with the Japanese CEO, but to leave on the spot. That's pretty fucking crazy still. That's like saying I got signed to a fucking company and then they tell me some bullshit and then I leave like in the middle of that stream.
Mhm.
So, crazy times, man. I'm one
Indeed.
and I'm like one
I mean,
and
well,
part of me is
it's
like
it.
I made a comparison to you and I was like, "Damn, remember the fucking machinima?"
Yes, that's what I was saying. I was like, I remember when people were coming up with, like, they had separate websites and shit, like
Mhm.
Rooster Teeth, shit like
Yep.
that.
And
And
then they
then,
made YouTube channels just to kind of like
and I,
supplement it.
and I finally, I guess it was just that trend, right? Like I've there was a time where I was looking at like official things, you know what I mean? Oh, go to their website, or you know what I mean, and then you'll find their stuff there, and then eventually that whole culture of just hosting a channel, because I guess people, would have to keep paying people to host a website essentially, and so the popular ones, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know what I mean, and so they said, you know what, why don't we just a channel's free on YouTube, why don't we just make that our thing, and after that, I just started seeing everything, not just video games, but just like bands and like undercover artists and shit like that. I was like, okay, all right, all right.
Yeah, plus like
I'm liking
YouTube,
this.
like I think they saw like ahead of time that YouTube was already going to be like probably the best way to spread your content. And then look where it is now. Like you can't go anywhere without YouTube.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts to me.
Yeah. But it's just I just kind of like wonder I'm like I wonder how this is going to go down in history like in terms of like content creation cuz like I've seen like some groups just like crumble or like fall apart in some way shape or form. And
I
this
also don't. It's weird, right? I mean, for me, I'm finding like creatively, like everybody would everybody would hone to a certain, you know what I mean, source, and that's how people would get their content work done. A lot of people are doing verticals and stuff on their phone,
Oh yeah, like
and
TikTok
and
content, stuff like that.
yeah, exactly. And stuff you wouldn't, you know what I mean, or not wouldn't, but stuff that, you know what I mean, that you'd find on Instagram, or they post it on Facebook, or just anywhere that you could stream random content. And so like I just see the trend, right? The back then the trend for me was, okay, everybody's getting work off of a website. And now it's and 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 they're piecing their footage so that they could have a whole reel together. And now what I've noticed, I mean, and that's still going on for certain aspects, but what I've noticed what's more popular is right now is we have the verticals and the self, a lot of it is self tape with a lot of basic stuff. Like people, I remember people used to like spend so much on just anything with a mirror, and now it's like people are just getting it done. They're just posting it and making as much content and viewing the reviews and the results and chipping away at their own brand, and you know what I mean. And that's uh, again what I was getting to with in terms of the sourcing, right, and how popular it was back then. For me, it was a website. Now I'm not doing that so much of that as much as I want to, only because I'm building a network and a base for my career musically. So balancing the other half is, a big battle, but it's fine. It's just that's the journey. And so for stuff for, you know what I mean, how I've seen people be getting work and stuff like that is more live stuff, and it's more trendy to play live as opposed to on a on a on Instagram Live or anything. You know what I mean, like that. Like tuning in is becoming less and less because I think just the power of how Hollywood works too. You know what I mean? There's not that much work going on right now. And people really have this nostalgia about, just working here in general and just the whole culture of Hollywood. It's just, it's right here. It's where it is, you know what I mean? And other people are going to other states and other countries so that they could, not pay such a heavy price tag and pay so many taxes and whatnot. That's the real like thing going on with or that's a real thing that's going on in the industry right now. So to see this pattern, the an exodus, shall we say, of one system to another. You're right. You're wondering how it's going to go down in history and how it's going to shape. But that's just the wonders of all that, right? Like it's amazing, like what streaming has become. Like it basically took out the movie theater industry.
Oh, easily. Like, I think
Like
just in terms of entertainment as well, like, because I wanted to harp on that, like, short form content, because that's basically nowadays short form content is king, and it's unfortunately going to do, like, I would say it did irreparable damage to YouTube as a whole, just because that's where majority of views are going to go. Nobody likes to sit through long form content nowadays unless you're like amongst the like rare minority that still like
I
cling
remember
to that.
people
I
like
like that personally.
I, I remember when people were fighting for that. I remember like, oh, I just can't. It was actually illegal. They're like, wait, you uploaded what? And it stood there for a while, and then okay, no, you can't upload this much. What else? What
Oh, it's
else?
like
I just
it's at a certain amount that usually like when you're like a YouTube partner, you have to hit like a certain threshold, that way you can get your videos monetized. It's like something like that.
exactly. That's what I was fighting for. Lastly, like trying to envelop, like in the years of junior high, that's what was happening for me. I was trying to envelop a routine where I can basically, upload the videos, see what kind of content people like, and even the networking part of YouTube back then was part of the whole thing. Like, oh, and then people would make YouTube videos about like, oh, now I have beef with this guy because he said this, and he'd screenshot the freaking messages and shit. Like, it was
Oh,
just
like just drama content, stuff like that.
exactly like it just so different, so different.
It's still funny
But
because like internet drama, like drama content somehow still also makes like, or it gets views, and it's like, why does stuff like
well,
this still work?
that's it's just how networks affect other people and how things affect other people. The cause and effect
Hmm.
theme. You know what I mean? I feel like that's how a bunch of celebrities, like that's one of their easy things. It's just to stir a pot. You know what I mean? Blank did what to whom, and now that's a video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or blank is eating whom with what?
Or like even or shit, even like like I don't know if you remember this, back in 2020, outside of COVID, um the Smash Bros community got fucking wrecked because all the fucking a bunch of the pro players were, let's just say, they did certain things with people of certain age that we can't say,
Oh god.
and a lot of them are, well, they're no longer, either they're no longer doing anything, or some of them were actually able to beat like allegations and get forgiveness, like maybe a rare few, but even then, like, still doesn't change the fact that they did what they did. Hell, even like
Remember the
one of,
Call of Duty scandals?
hmm?
I said, remember the Call of Duty scandals? Oh
I know, oh my god, who is one of the content creators? I think it was like Only Use Me Blade. That dude is like messed up. Him, well, Wings of Redemption is a straight lol cow. Like, but he hasn't done anything recently. I think he's on a pod, but I don't think he's really done anything crazy. Like, if like outside of stuff like back then, but nowadays I'm like, I think he's actually kind of kept himself like straight. I don't even. So I don't know, but still, nonetheless, just seeing how many content creators can just like fall as a whole.
I think what people do, it's just that this is just how unions are made. You know what I mean? Like you have a group of people with a similar cause, and at some point they'll all fight for that same cause and what it takes to upgrade their cause or upgrade their lifestyle so that they have more means towards the cause. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's another network that comes about that everybody comes together and says, "All right, screw IG, screw FB." You know what I mean? Screw X. You know what I mean?
Well,
Just
I can tell you, I'm like, how many people really use Facebook?
it's weird. If you know how to strategically use it for groups, a wide range of the world still uses it. I won't say like, oh god, like I'm up there posting my posts every other day as if as if it was what like IG, right?
Yeah.
No. What I do though is Facebook's wired to my IG. So what I post on IG gets posted to freaking what's it called?
I think
To
I just did that too with mine again, and I was like, I honestly can't forget that that's a thing. It's
because
like,
why would I, uh, why would I waste my time going through everything like separately, whereas I could just
streamline
upload and
it,
then just
kind of like
literally just
streamline
hit a
the experience.
checkbox and it's all there. All right, cool, yeah. And then you know what I mean? That's it's that I think that those whole like it's I won't say a whole empire is going to like diminish overnight. I'm just saying like the theory of evolution, you know what I mean, will just it just changes, you know what I mean? An animal just changes over time. Like I'm not being I don't know nothing about Darwinism here, but like it's it's gonna change. And something else is gonna grow out of the blue. Some other person with money is gonna funnel it to someone else. You know what I mean? The torch gets passed on, it's essentially.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I mean,
I I hate to say it, maybe that's why I'm procrastinating with my own like acting network career phase, or you know what I mean, this section of my career, because like it's in a world where I flourish like like as a stranger in strange places and getting to know people, you know what I mean? Like it's I find myself surrounded in a world that everybody likes to distance themselves and likes to hide behind computer screens, if that makes any sense.
mm,
So I mean there is no hiding the fact that people just get work done behind a computer screen. You know what I mean? Like that's just our livelihood nowadays. That's just the technological age we've reached. It's you know what I mean? It's and I can't say that I deal well with, or I felt in the past like with face to face, because I just haven't jumped into that, you know what I mean, like 200-foot lake. You feel me?
mm-hmm.
Not just yet, rather. It's just there's a lot of mistakes you can make, and some you just can't back out of. You know what I mean? Some it's like, okay, now I'm just gonna drop the show here, but then you can't leave the production because there's others that are equally as committed and are essentially making the same mistake you are. You know what I mean? So in that case, it's better to finish the show and finish hard. And sure, nothing might not come out of it, but that's just what you make out of life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's enough about me ranting.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's like I think the just to kind of finish off on that whole that segment. I think still like even though there is like an influx of people who want to become like content creators or even podcasters, stuff like that, it still is the best time to get started because, to quote Kai Cenat, when he did Hot Ones, and I love this quote that he said, "Slow motion is better than no motion," and I was just like,
Yeah, and I mean
I
that's
love that.
to recant my advice that I gave myself uh 2 pods ago, I believe. Or it might have been the last pod. You said, what advice would you give yourself
I think it
in
was
the
like two.
past?
I think that was two.
Yeah, it might have been 2. And so I basically said, I think my mind since I was born was just made to be raced at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That the real the real treasures in life is when you savor the moment and really just like I've been judged by this before. To add another metaphor, I eat slowly.
Hmm.
I I see others that they just like wow devour their food. That's it. Bam. You know what I mean? Go on to the next thing. It it just makes me question like what's the hurry? Like what? Who has a gun to your head? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Like
And it's just
it's I mean, the other way I guess you could describe it, it's a marathon, not a race.
exactly, and that's what they would tell me at when I used to work at Halloween Horror Nights as a scare actor. Eh, They would tell people repeatedly, "Stop taking energy drinks. We know you know how your own body functions, and we're nobody to tell you otherwise. But we also know that we have a standards and practice here with a bit that goes with statistics. You know what I mean? And it's statistics show." If you're freaking running like at 100% from like 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning, you're gonna need to pace yourself.
Yeah.
And taking like 2 Red Bulls sugar free, I don't care. You're still taking the taurine and all that shit just to stay up. Like, nah, bro. Like you're not gonna last. You're gonna literally do irreparable damage to your lifestyle. Like you're gonna wanna, no offense, Jer, develop a sense of like getting up at only past 10:30. You know what I mean?
That's more if I just stay up
uh,
late, so unfortunately, it's like my body's fucked in that way.
and see, that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, but there is a smarter way to do that. You know what I mean? And it's just for you to enjoy yourself, for you to do
Mm-hmm.
it right. You know what I mean? It's like just and to learn from your mistakes in the moment, you know what I mean, through success. It's like yeah, you need to take your time, you need to be vigilant. It cannot be this whole idea of oh but my friends are, or oh but my parents said like wanted me to do this by X date, you know what I mean, like you know what I mean. It's a suggestion, those are suggestions,
Yeah.
and not to be taken so wholeheartedly. I really have come to learn that recently in my own little private things in life, and so I very much value my own advice in the sense that hey, it's better to savor the moment. It cannot can't just hurry shit up. Art's
Yeah.
not the best art is not done that way. I mean, Michelangelo took so long to paint that goddamn, you know what I mean, uh, whatever, Leonardo da Vinci. I'm not trying to confuse artists here. I don't want to here, but I know one of them painted a ceiling,
Yes.
and really thinking about how what I mean. He had to bend his back backwards for a myriad of time, and he actually published on how like the way that he did that. So just imagine. Like the dude took the time to do all of that, and he is known for like doing everything. You know what I mean? Da Vinci, at least. Michelangelo, at least from what I know, is just an artist. But yeah, I think people know the metaphors I'm trying to make here. It's yeah, it's crazy. I very much value time because, well, uh, from my current situation, I'm basically being hired left and right. Thank God, you know what I mean. Knock on wood and everything. Everything goes well. I'm getting hired left and right here, and by these institutions that from at one point I was a student, and I thought, man, the people that I was learning from, I wish I was more like them, and I wished I was more, intelligent to be able to have the capacity to be like them, and so on and so forth, because I just knew that in that moment I was not the smartest, you know, kid in the candy store. So nowadays I'm realizing, and I'm taking the time to really realize, like, oh, look, you're actually leading in these spaces now. You know what I mean? Sure, I don't have the title of quote unquote director, but I am leading the force in an aspect of major, like, major important aspects in productions that are, you know what I mean, that are going throughout the valley. And so I'm building that rapport, and I'm building my networking, and sure, it is not to, someone else's standards, but I think I'm doing really well for myself right now, and I can't blame other factors, selfish ones at least, for just my moments of despair, when I really just have to look at the bigger picture. You know what I mean? All right, cool. I may not be here with a certain group right now, and maybe I will. And who knows, if I go my separate path for however long, I can basically climb my own pillars and have people look at me the way that I'm looking at my own desires right now. You feel me?
Yep, definitely.
That's just what it is about time.
Yeah. Like I think some people, like, I have to remind myself too that it's just like, just don't rush anything, because that's kind of like what the whole year has been for me. Just like, not just as a person, but also as a creator. It's like, you just don't rush anything. Just take as much time as you need. At least, you could fill in a spot, like, for yourself, and just go from there. Because, like, the fact that I'm, like, uploading more videos on YouTube just in general is already, like, I'd say impressive enough. Like, I think this might be the most I've ever uploaded anything. I haven't done, like, my little commentary series in a minute, but hey, to say the least, like, I have done it. And, I think about it here and there, but, like, sometimes also those topics end up falling into the podcast as well, because it's like, it's always good to hear, like, another person's perspective, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then even when I do my wrestling specials with Kevin, when we're doing, like, our predictions, or, like, we're reviewing, like, the PLEs and shit like that, it's like, I'm doing the thing that I wanted to do for so long. I mean, yeah, I'm doing it
I
at the
I
age of
wanna-
30.
hey, I want to recount the fact that we actually set out to do that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, remember the I'll remind you of the annoying college transportation stories,
Oh man.
where, you remember, I would ride with you to school, and
Uh-oh. I can hear.
maybe us, having our own little podcast, doing, talking about video games, playing video games, even, you know what I mean, finding a way of how to get paid for playing said video games and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep.
Like, and so I very much will say that that's still, you know,
It's a
we
very
did that.
we did it. Yeah.
We did
If only we just,
that.
like, obviously with technology now, I'm sure we would, like, probably like, we literally could, like, pull up like a voice memo and then just like on a car ride, just use that as the fucking audio.
That's what I'm saying. Like the evolution of that content. You know what I mean? It has evolved. You know what I mean? Like I remember when podcasts were just dedicated to just like learning or reading books.
Nowadays, that's a fucking audible.
Like now, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what? There's no knowing what things like change into, but when time progresses, we're able to, really analyze what's going on and what went on. It's really all about the journey. That's why it's so important to appreciate the moment.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, and gotta learn, like, appreciate the moment and learn to love the process. Because,
I'll tell you right now, I've only just become like just a it's weird. I nowadays I'm looking at complicated pieces and I'm not approaching it with a fear-based intention, if that makes any sense. Like if I hear something and I said, "Oh, wow, that sounds complex," but my next comment is not, "I don't think I could ever do that." I'm not used to that anymore. Like now it's like, "Oh, it sounds complex. Let me see if I can solve this and see." And then that is now turning that phrase is now evolving to, I was like, "Ooh, this sounds fun. Let me see if I could fit it into a set list, or let me see if I could have some time to practice that when I get home and learn it." Rather than, you know, taking a fear-based approach on things that'll just slow you down even more, if that makes any sense. It's just telling me that I'm getting used to the process. And that's genuinely how the majority of how people just operate, professionals at least. They say, "All right, cool, look, we have this song. All right, we're gonna get it done." There's no other obstacles, right? Like it's that's why a lot of people say you either have it or you don't. It's or you're born with it or you're not. And I really hate that phrase because that's so that's so like sign of the times. Like YouTube literally now, and I've said it before, is a university, a global university for mankind. You could literally learn how to like operate your car, dismantle your car, fix your dismantled car. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, this is like,
it's.
this, yeah, YouTube has literally become a free education.
I've said it to many people. Like, okay, I'll throw it in everyone's faces. How many times have you not like has your folks or any family has said to you, it's like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And I'm like, "Shoot, don't you?" And like, you don't know how, but what you do is you say, I mean, can't you just YouTube
Yes,
it?
the most common
You know what I
statement
mean?
that we always use is can't, like, just YouTube it. Because, like, the thing that I am eventually gonna probably do and like is fix controllers, like mostly whether it's doing like mods, like installing like better sticks for obviously like PlayStation 5 controllers, because you know that shit is dying, or like sometimes they
Yeah,
have like crazy stick drift.
it's weird, right? Like I very much like this. I like this controller, but you know, there was a time where I wanted to not mod specifically, but that's just what I would do to get away with having to pay somebody to
Just
fix my shit. I was like, "Yo, dude, I'm gonna figure this shit out myself."
yeah,
Um, and so I mean, there was an era during COVID where people were just like, "Yo, what is going on with my PS4? Let's see what's going on." And people would YouTube how to do it. And I mean, I'll tell that story. there was a time when a buddy of ours was having so much trouble with it overheating.
Oh my
And I'm like,
god.
oh, well,
Oh
shoot,
my
why don't,
god. Let me guess.
and I'm like, I was like, why don't you just, YouTube it? And so I don't know what it was, but they just found it a little difficult to manage all the tooling process and all that. They didn't want to fuck it up. So what they ended up doing was they took it to like you break I fix it type shit
Oh
places
god.
where you like you go and fix your broken ass iPhone, right? And so they also fixed consoles, and so he took it in. He's like, "Yeah, leave it here, bro. I'll have it fixed up in like a day, like literally, maybe like within 6 hours." But that's why I say a day because I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm like, okay, cool. So he leaves it there. Doesn't get to us for like a good second, right? Like, oh man, I wonder what happened to that his problem. And so we ended up finding out because unfortunately I think the guy just in that section wouldn't have a tidy desk, so there'd be like a lot of food and stuff like that left
Oh
over.
oh god.
And so inevitably the dude tells us that his PS4 was inhabited by like insects
Let
having
me
children inside that
oh, he
thing.
had roaches in there?
Something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was some sort of bug, and they laid their eggs in there, and that was their incubator. So I remember I don't remember if it was up to the point where they just couldn't turn on the damn PS4 anymore. Yes, it was. It's right. They tried plugging it in over and over again, and it would not start. They're like, dude, what's going on? I'm dead. Like this was again height of COVID, and we didn't know we were just like, dude, what are we gonna do? And so then he finds out that, and I'm like, dude, no way. And so yeah, we ended up finding better deals on a PS4, I believe, and then that's when the PS5 came out, and that's when we just kept on recanting that story because that was just wild because I never knew that could happen. You know
Oh
what I mean? Like
dude. Dude, that's
I'll be honest. I left. I'll leave like drinks. You know what I mean? Like large drinks from like fast food places. Sometimes I'll leave them on my desk. If I'm lucky, the ants won't show up. But wow, this last season it's just like don't leave anything
oh
on my desk.
nah, don't. Especially like in
Like,
California heat. Oh dude. I still
uh,
remember when we would when there was like leftover food, there would be fucking ants like left and right like during the summer.
literally, I was just like, dude, how?
And it's just like, where the
Smell.
hell are they coming from? And shit like that. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, never.
that's just wild, wild.
Yeah, dude. There's like apparently there's been like so many of those stories too, like with just the past in general. Like a bunch, like I guess some roaches like can get inside consoles, and then that's the incubator for them. So it's very important to maintain your consoles, people.
Yeah, and the area you got going
Yep.
on.
Because like I mean I remember like I think Kevin and I have mentioned this story a couple times when Final Fantasy 16 was coming out and people were reporting that their consoles would literally shut down mid-fight because it's super intensive on boss battles and they don't and we're like, "Oh, we're running on the fear that the console's already going to shut off on like one of the craziest parts of the fight." So we like we YouTube how to clean our consoles just to make sure it never happens to us.
Yeah, literally. What is it? For me right now, I actually had. I'm gonna figure out how to. I want to clean the dust.
It's so the good thing with your console too, because I know you and Trev have basically a slim. It's so much
Mhm.
easier to open those plates. Because I have the base PS5, the big tower, and oh my god, I kind of get scared every time I have to like take off the plates and put it back in.
Yeah, dude. Like, no, I mean, that's what happened with this one. What ended up happening was, yeah, well, me being scared, I was like, yo, this thing is. I mean, love the. Pretty sure they worked on this whole, layout and how this thing stands and everything, but mine is living on the edge right now with my desk, and so I don't know what happened.
Every time
They,
I
or, like,
every time
I
I
think
see it, I'm like, can I please move it for you? Because I hate that it's on the edge.
well, it did happen once. It was
Oh,
a while ago, I'll
oh
admit,
Jesus
but
Christ.
basically what had happened was I think I might have pulled the curtain. Someone called me, and then I immediately switched perspectives, and this bad boy fell, and the plate that came off just came off. So I was like, oh shoot, I might have broken this. And well, it turns out no. The how
It
hard the fall was
popped the
just on
plate
one
off.
side, I guess, made it just come off. But yeah, it's not the easiest to get off
Nah, it's
or put back on.
well. The other thing too is like I'm like I might just fucking send you and Trev like Amazon links. Go buy a fucking stand.
Yeah,
Like
I think I might.
you literally could buy like a stand for like. I mean, granted they're a little expensive. I mean, it's like $15 maybe.
Nah, see that's not expensive.
Yeah, so
I'll
it's better you
what I'm
buy a third party than like actual because I think the actual Sony one is a little more expensive and it's like hilariously like egregious. So, but yep. That's why like every time I go and I'm like, please, can I just please like fucking move it? So, like I'm telling you this as a guy who helped you with it. I'm like, I do not want you fucking like, seeing like $500 just go down the drain like that.
Ah, yes. $500.
Yep. And that, and what's funny too, like just when you were mentioning the whole YouTube thing, like it's like recently, like my algorithm has been a lot of like desk setups and PC building, and I was like, hmm,
I've been meaning to go back to what is that place called? Um it is called IKEA.
oh man. Yeah, at least you
I
guys
want to go
got IKEA out there. I think the only IKEA that's like close to us, quote unquote, close to us, is like Colorado.
back.
Yeah, you had to go through fucking Wyoming though, so yeah.
Damn Wyoming. That shit's freaking huge.
It's the middle. I always call Wyoming the middle of butt fuck nowhere.
I swear.
Yeah, but that's kind of like been like also like my algorithm too recently. I mean, it's actually like very entertaining, and then I guess I get to see like what do people use nowadays for like equipment, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But
Good old equipment.
yep. But and speaking of like PS5s, like because this has kind of like recently been coming up, and I'm like, I may or may not try to hunt down a PS5 Pro. Well, actually, not necessarily hunt down, but like look for a deal on a PS5 Pro because there's a pretty big fucking rumor about GTA 6.
Okay, I could not believe that when you freaking
Sent
what
it.
is with Rockstar and taking their sweet revenge on shit.
Well, the problem with this is the fact that one, it's Rockstar, so they really like to keep an eye on their content. Like,
God.
and I mean, I all I'm gonna say is that they kind of need a fucking slam dunk right now. And I'm not saying like it's not like that Rockstar is struggling. Oh hell no, they're doing fucking great as a company. It's just
Yeah.
when you consider what was their last two releases being the GTA trilogy, which was a pretty big miss until they started updating it. I don't know what's going on with Red Dead Redemption 1 in terms of I think it's just more of the fact that one, it's a port, so it's not like an actual remaster. It's maybe like just upscale like resolution and no
God,
multiplayer for $50. Like fuck you.
Yeah, it kind of is a backhanded compliment too, or a backhanded statement.
Yeah. But with GTA 6, I mean, all the trailers have broken the fucking records in terms of viewership. So the fact that the rumor is, and mind you, this is a rumor, we don't have a confirmation about it, that a base PS5 will be 30 FPS, and the only console that we're aware of that can hit 60 is a fucking PS5 Pro.
That's ridiculous.
And then, and mind you, and this it, and knowing Rockstar, they staggered their PC releases usually like a year, like at minimum, like a year and a half for the PC release. So they have to wait. And the fact that only one console can handle a fucking hitting 60 FPS is kind of nuts.
That's kind of annoying, man.
It is. And I mean, I might have to hunt down a PS5 Pro or like once, probably like once like around like Black Friday. I'll probably keep an eye out for it. At least that's the current goal.
God, man, I want to get one, but
It's
see, where I fucked
the
up was I even set out for it at first. I said, dude, I really want to get one of those PS5s that has the CD option.
Yeah, the disc option. See, the problem is, and that's why what pisses me off about the Pro is like there is no bundle with the disc driver built in. Like you have to pay for that shit separate, and that shit pisses me off so much.
Ugh.
That's like I think Kevin and I have mentioned it like on some pods. Like the convenience of it is very important for us, especially because I have physical games. Like the only reason that a pro would like not getting a disc drive would benefit somebody is they went all in on digital.
Yeah, I, I just, at the time I was even lucky to find one.
Yeah, because
I remember
I think that's when the Slim just like barely came out too.
yeah, I was like, nah. I knew they were. I had said it a while, even when I was uh during the like during COVID, because I was always saying like, dude, the PlayStation always comes out with the slim version of the shit,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time it was like, nah, dude, this thing is huge. The computer for this is like,
The
or
CPU and
the
the
yeah, the CPU is it needs to cool down and all that. Yeah, my ass, they are like it's gonna be like 3 years or some or no, full 5 years or some shit like that. I'm like, it only takes like a year and a half for this shit to and sure enough, within those 2 years, it came out.
I think yeah, like 2 3 years later they finally drop a Slim, and
Yeah.
then and yeah, like I said, like I'm not 100% sure because like I am thinking about getting a Pro, but I'm not gonna rely on it for now. Like if it's a decent enough deal on Black Friday, because I think I said like if it's like $600 and if it was bundled with the disc drive, I would have then that's like okay, that's immediate. But until that happens, I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. But it is still kind of like why the fuck are you like how can you only achieve like 30 FPS on a fucking base PS5? Like that just it's just so stupid.
Yeah, it's
I mean, especially on like what's one of the biggest games in like a generation too. It's like, come on, man. So
you
annoying.
know.
But who knows? I mean, it's kind of like I'm sitting on a what's coming first? Is me getting a PS5 Pro or finally having a PC build? Oh,
Yeah, see, I recommend I I recommend you get a PC for yourself because I see you. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I
Like,
mean, I'm probably because I mean, considering like at some point like I said I'm kind of floating between like two ideas, which is either I could a get a pre-built PC and drop like a lot of money, but to future-proof myself, or I try to build one and eventually obviously and make upgrades eventually, and then just like because it doesn't look like nowadays, like especially again, like what we mentioned, YouTube is like the free university for us. Nowadays, you can just build a PC just following someone's video.
That's what
Just
I'm
got
saying. I'm like,
and
dude.
and of course, just have steady hands. So
I'm like,
I mean, shit. If I get like to the point that like I have decent enough money that I can literally build a rig for everybody, that would be fucking awesome. But that is a long shot at as of this time. So we'll see.
Yep.
Plus, I mean, I would have to figure out everyone's like, what would they like if they want something to future proof themselves or keep up with the modern times, and then eventually make their own upgrades. But yeah, that's eventually. I'll eventually get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And our next topic that this is kind of like the daily I'm gonna dunk on insert $1 billion company or big gaming company. Ubisoft just recently had their financial meetings, and oh my god, this was actually like the big, like, quite literally like the Mr. Krabs like of fucking meetings. Because, okay, there's a lot to go through. The big one is that Ubisoft, their CEO, he said, and I quote, that microtransactions in games makes it more fun.
Repeat that?
Ubisoft claims that
Uh-huh.
microtransactions makes games more fun.
Mm.
So I immediately was like, I've never heard a dumber and greedier statement in my fucking life than that. And I was talking, and it's funny because I was talking to Gus about it. He even said that that's a really stupid fucking statement because, like, well, let's put the biggest example of like a game that takes advantage of its microtransactions, which is basically Fortnite and Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's for
Like,
damn sure.
look, the benefit Fortnite has is that it's free for starters, and they put pretty good, like, they take really good care of skins. That's what I will say. I'm not gonna, but they're not what makes the game fun. It's the core aspect of their game. The good thing about Fortnite is that it's a very arcadey feeling, a
Mm-hmm.
very arcadey, but if you get good at it, it unlocks like the feeling of playing the game. Now, when you put, and then with Call of Duty, it just looks stupid. Like, bro, fucking, I don't know if you saw this, Josh, but on Black Ops 7, they have fucking Beavis and Butthead and American Dad as skins in that game.
Jeez.
And then you wanna know what they announced? The fucking fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Uh, what on earth?
So fucking dumb. Like,
It is what it is. They're just
I
it's
mean,
so,
and again,
so random.
it's random. And the problem is that for, I know we deviated from Ubisoft, but it's just like but those are two examples of like one company doing microtransactions, I'd say fairly, versus other companies doing it terribly. Because even like, dude, there's even microtransactions in like Ubisoft's like single player games, like fucking Far Cry and Assassin's Creed. In
I
a
never played.
single player.
Yeah.
And what makes it work?
Politics. Yeah, I say it's politics.
It's the politics. It's the higher ups, and I fucking hate people like that. It's just like it's just so stupid. It's like, yes, what is my favorite thing about playing video games? Spending more money on that game. No, no. This is why I always say I always say Ubisoft needs to go fucking bankrupt. The day that they go bankrupt, I'm taking a victory lap around South Dakota, or at least my neighborhood. At the very least, my neighborhood. I'm gonna be running. I'm gonna be going on a victory lap. Oh my god! And then other parts of that meeting that happened as well. The reason, like they. So, did you know that they released a open world Star Wars game, Josh?
I was, I keep on seeing like videos of this thing, but
Okay,
I
which
didn't
one
know.
did you see? Because it's Star Wars Outlaws that Ubisoft released. It's the one with
Okay.
the chick as the protagonist.
I keep on seeing like this Obi-Wan character.
That might be Jedi Survivor or the one of the Jedi games.
Hmm.
So, but
Yeah.
they Ubisoft released Star Wars Outlaws, and it did not do well in terms of sales. And you want to know what he blamed it on? He just basically blamed that the previous movie, at least their previous movie, was the reason that Star Wars Outlaws didn't do good. So he blamed the rise of Skywalker. He didn't blame the fact that the game was not that good. Because the problem is what I've always said about the problem with Ubisoft's open world is that it's literally just a UI clutter. That it's almost like I don't even know what I'm staring at.
It's just, I guess me and, well, it's weird. I remember the earliest Ubisoft game for me. That's how I know the name. It was Batman Vengeance for Nintendo.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
I'm sure I'm gonna have to Google that later. But
Yeah. It's one of those classic cartridges like that.
mm,
Wow.
well, I mean it went let me guess, N64, the fact that you said cartridge.
Well, I say they're cartridges because, well, I mean,
Well, what was it on, I guess?
yeah, it was on Nintendo. Nintendo Game Boy
60
Advance. There you go.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, that's mm, but it's just crazy, man. That
So long ago.
it's just I think what's just crazy is the fact that Ubisoft went from being like one of the most respected companies to wow, I fucking hate this company. Like
There's no integrity anywhere, Bobby.
quite literally. Yeah. That's why I like fucking like I usually like always I will praise corporations when they do things right and I will dunk on them when they do things wrong. And this is one of those. So bad, man. That's why I like despise. Like I always say it in our groups. I despise basically Activision, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers games, and I'm sure I'm probably gonna despise. Well, actually, it's kind of universal to despise them. Tencent. Those are like the companies too. Like it's fucking annoying. Fucking annoying. I hate greed, man. That's why we got to support indie games more.
Corporate greed.
Yep. The
So,
things like just the fact that like I think I just realized this podcast tends to usually be like not only praise gaming but also dunk on gaming as well.
yeah. See, I do like the video. I do like the video games. You know what I mean?
Hate the corporate
But
greed though. We hate the corporate greed.
yeah, it's because at least for now, there's not really that much of a video game that we can like talk for hours on end. I mean, it depends, right? Like, okay, the one right now that I'm just like I'm glued. I hate to admit that I might be a little addicted to this game. Playing freaking Hogwarts Legacy as of late, and
Hmm.
it just we all have that game that's like, oh, dude, it could have all of my time
Yeah,
in the
like
world.
yeah, like for me right now, that's Expedition. and then Liza P. And I actually started playing the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. It's really fun.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, there's just something about this, at least for me, because for this game, it's actually calling back on a whole, like, okay, do you remember EA games?
Oh, EA Big specifically for me at least.
It's like EA games challenge everything. I remember that was the slogan for that,
That's the other company I also fucking hate too.
and they basically came up with the Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets video game. I thought that was, I mean, that thing took all of my time. It was beautiful. I did not mind it. It's, I yeah. And now it basically they came out with, not EA, but like uh, the other, Hogwarts legacy brand that came off of this. That's their company now. Well, yeah, wow, like this thing is just amazing because it basically is everything that Chamber of Secrets game was. Because it basically had a story mission, had little side quests, collecting witches and wizards cards. I never got to see what the end was because, well, that's how old the game is. It crashed out on us finally. But and it had the ability to open doors but not locked doors. It was annoying, and we always wondered, well, we have the Alahamora spell. We can only open chests, but we can't open like actual locked things. Like, what kind of horse shit is this? And so we now we're appreciating that because now we see a door, we can open it, and if it needs to be opened, we can use a spell and shit like that. Like, it's a good nostalgic calling card, and that's what I like about this game. Is that, sure, it's not the end all be all game, but at least for me, I'm very much an open world game kind of guy. I love the fact that there's a whole story that needs to be completed, and that's when the real game ends. But I love the side quests, the stories tied to the side quests, the lore that's tied to collecting these things. That to me is a sign of a true, like, all right, cool, I'm gonna spend hours on this video game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just just to recall a few games like Red Dead Redemption, the first one, uh, Grand Theft Auto series in its entirety, the Arkham series,
Mm-hmm.
the Spider-Man series. Like, it's just amazing. But yeah,
How could you
that's
forget
just
Fallout?
that's right. Well, do you want me to tell that story?
Maybe not the 76 one.
Well,
We have
yes, I will say that because that
TL.
also that used to fall. That whole series of Bethesda game was a nostalgia hub for me. Genuinely, like, how could you? I mean, at least for me, I couldn't believe there was a game that had all of this like old music, like from the 40s, 50s.
It was like it's the 40s and 50s interpretation of the future.
And that too, like, wow, like, it was like, it was future retro. It was like Tomorrowland type shit. I was like, wow, this is really cool. At least for me, I wasn't a guy that started the Fallout series from the very beginning.
No,
Uh,
not.
I
I don't
didn't,
think
I didn't
a lot of us didn't really start on the first game,
Yeah, the
but
first one and the second one, I was, unfortunately, that I could not do that. I'd never played that game, but I did play 3. I did play New Vegas, and I did play 4. And wow, was I just a huge fan of those 3 games.
I think.
Maybe I wasn't as huge a fan as my other friends in high school who would ditch literally school to play it, and would ditch school to be in line just to wait for the you know the ultimate bundled pack series or limited
Hmm.
edition, whatever people would wait in line for. And so I'm like, ugh. But I had a grand time. I mean, at least for me, I mean, you put a huge music nostalgia bomb incorporated with California and Nevada. Yeah, New Vegas is literally my favorite out of the
Yeah.
Fallout
I've
series.
been,
Like,
and it's funny too because I've been like, I have New Vegas on Game Pass, and I've been meaning to play that game at some point, but I'm too
I hear
focused.
like
I'm too focused on the new releases right now, and I'm like, God damn it! I need to play this because the new Fallout season is gonna be in New Vegas.
yeah, you know what
So,
I mean? Like,
but um, yeah, like, and I still, but for anyone who doesn't know the story, I don't even know if we ever talked about it on this podcast. I specifically told
oh
Josh, do not buy Fallout 76. And this is
yeah,
before it got fully updated. I mean, right now, Fallout 76,
that was like way before. Like people were warning me, and I looked up the YouTube videos. They're like, guys, don't buy it, don't do this, and I'm like, wow, people are hating. Well, people just don't know the relationship that I have with these games.
see,
Like
and this is why, and like, I mean, I just want to say this, and I'm not saying this to like out of like disrespect. This is what happens. Like, this is why, this is how you fall into the casual trap.
it was just I was because okay, yeah, like I just grew up with okay. That's all. That was also the first game that I also said to myself, wow, like this I can say is not a good developed video game. Like this is just isn't good. Just like I can't even hate just to hate. Like people are not even hating. Like this is just an incomplete game.
And yeah,
And I just
so, and mind you, this is what, like 2020, 2021, something like that when you bought it?
yeah, I paid full price for that
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, I guess the only good thing, like, and this is the only good thing about 76 now, is that it is complete. Or it's, well, not necessarily complete, but it's like, it is an actual game now. But the fact that it launched in the state that it was is like so unacceptable.
Yeah, no, I lost money. I lost money.
Do you even have it
So I
still? Or do you, did you get rid of that shit?
no, dog, I'm not like
You got rid of it?
I gave, I got rid of it. I think I know what I did. I actually sold it for pot. I was pissed off, and it was during a time when I wasn't getting free money just for free money's sake, and yeah, like all right,
That's funny.
and that that
Bro,
was that was that was a
Fallout's.
fucked up time.
I'm gonna. I think I may. I sold money for weed. Actually, I don't even know if that would fly with YouTube's fucking. I'll
Like
pick.
I literally sold Fallout New Vegas and a couple of physical games that I just said, okay, I'm not actually gonna. I already have this other thing. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna ever use
Man,
this,
if you
and so
ever, and if you kept them, you probably could have sold it for more, which is the crazy part.
yeah. Well,
It's what it is.
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure. I'm pretty sure if you go, I'm pretty sure if you go to that really cool video game store in Burbank.
oh my
Well,
god, the one my dad used to work at that one too. I know which one you're talking about.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you, I mean, if you had that, like, I mean, they made money.
Oh yeah, and what's funny too is I'm kind of like, it's especially we're in a scary age right now where we're not 100% sure what's going on with the physical media market right now. Like, I those stores are going to be as valuable as they come. So, I mean, only time will tell on that one. But,
Yeah.
and to kind of like harp on the Fallout news, I think what there's I don't know if I mentioned it to you on the pod, but there is like Fallout projects in the works right now.
Thank
And you
Christ.
want to know, and get this, 3 might be getting a remaster.
Good. Good. Dude, if Fallout 3 looks like 4, or even Fallout New Vegas will look like 4, I
I
will
think
shit my pants.
honestly, if it just has like some of the gameplay quality, like maybe just smooth. I honestly just want smoother gunplay, and that's really it. I would. That's all I
Yeah.
really want. Other than that,
I
keep the
love
dialogue the way it
Fallout's
was.
gunplay. Or sorry, I love 4's gunplay, you know?
Yeah, that's why. Like I think that's the only thing I like about 4, but I don't. I'm not. I wasn't the biggest fan of the dialogue options because then when I look at like 3 in New Vegas, I was like, there was way more you could do versus like 4, where it was like it felt like you were kind of like stuck with what you had.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I think that's the main thing that they were a little afraid of when they developed that game was because it was so like new at the time. They were like, okay, for now, there's so much with these new graphics, this new playing style. I think we can only do a limited amount of
dialogue options.
uh or just ways to play to seek to sort out the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, oh,
I
I
think
want to be
because the
I
other
always like the idea in a video game where you have the option to be good or evil. So like I always wish that they had that for
mhm.
Fallout, but I think that's what like there's just so much new to that thing. I you remember seeing the presentation for that?
Yeah, yeah. Fallout 4 still has some, I would say, pretty good presentation. But I think what didn't help it either was because obviously because in 3 in New Vegas, we always had a silent protagonist. And then this game and then
Yeah.
4 has like an actual voiced protagonist, and I think that might have been what hampered it because it probably would have added more time to just to record every dialogue option like that.
It's so weird, right? Um God, I had something what I was gonna say, but I lost my train of thought. Damn
Oh
it.
no. Ah, dang it. But yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see where they're going with Fallout because I think the only thing that does suck though, and I did see this news was Elder Scrolls 6 isn't I don't know when this game's fucking releasing, dude. They announced that shit like so long ago and we have not gotten anything.
I want to finally play an Elder Scroll game.
I think I mean if you want to play like I guess like whatever's the newest Elder Scroll, I mean Oblivion just got a remake. There's that, and then there's Skyrim as well. It's the most obvious one.
Skyrim, man.
Yep. There's always those ones. And speaking, and then also speaking, but what's it called? But Elder Scrolls like the sad news, unfortunately, is the godfather of Elder Scrolls did just pass away at the age of 59. It's fucking nuts, dude.
You know, I always the irony was that game was literally like a it was like RuneScape met like I don't know. For me, it was so unique when I first played that game that it was so big that I didn't know like what to
You almost felt
I didn't know what to
overwhelmed.
yeah. It was one of those games where I'm like, wow, like I don't even know where to begin.
You know what's funny too, and
And
like I kind of say this about like a lot of open world games too. I was like, because I know obviously you mentioned like Fallout, Spider-Man, Batman, and then obviously Hogwarts. I'm more surprised that you have yet to. I assume you have yet to play Elden Ring.
oh man, see, okay, that was cool too, but there was I guess that one felt more no, see, I don't know. That one felt more like Elder Scrolls mixed with like some uh
I mean, it's a Souls-like
yeah, it's been a
game.
minute since you played that.
Like,
There you
well,
go. All there you go.
see,
Dead
it's
Souls, something like that.
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, sorry. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I was about to crucify you like right there. But I mean, yeah, Elder Scrolls because of the medieval setting, and then obviously Dark Souls because well, it's made by FromSoft. So, but
God, man.
I mean, that game, and then also Ghost of Tsushima as well is like other open worlds that I love. So,
God, that's right. There's another.
Ghost
There's
of
another.
Yotei, Ghost of
Yeah,
Yotei,
dude.
baby. I'm tough.
I'm. I can't wait for that one because I love the first game so much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of those dudes that likes. Okay,
If you just like a
that
very
game.
like it's just like a beautiful open world first of all, and then on top of it, it's like they actually keep the minimalist like aesthetic of a UI like perfectly.
Like, okay, there you go. That was another game that's coming up soon. The Mafia, the Old Country.
Uh,
So, like, okay, it's weird, right? I'll give it. I'm with you on the fact that 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 it looks basic, but maybe I don't know.
maybe the game will like we'll see more of the game once it releases, but like I don't know. I will give it this at least like because I know they said that it's going to be a more linear story. I don't know if I think they're veering away from open world on this one. I mean, I could be wrong too. Or
Hmm.
or there's something about it. They said it was a more Mafia the Old Country is going to be more linear this time around. And if
Yeah,
and what it probably is and I mean, it's also $50, so it's already a under retail game. So I was like, okay, so it's probably like kind of starting to show it. And who knows, maybe the game is actually a lot better than what they showed because that gameplay
way.
didn't because like I was like telling you, I remember I messaged you. I was like, I watched this gameplay and I'm like, I am not 100% confident on this one. And that's coming out in a few weeks. So, I mean, I'll probably if I get an opportunity to play it, maybe when it goes on sale, then I'll probably play it.
Dude, I cannot wait because for one, I'm a big fan of the Mafia series. Two, they're they basically are putting on they're putting on a video game that goes before all of that stuff.
Yeah,
So
because it is the old country.
right.
So I was like, that's cool.
I'm
Prequel
like,
story.
you already had like the first one set, you know what I mean? Like early on, 10 like 1900s, early 1900s, and then the second one was just a little bit further down the road, and then
Then there
you
was
have you got the 1950s and 60s with Mafia 3, and then with or
this one is like
and
what pe
well, hold on. Mafia 2 was was 30s, 40s into 50s, and then 50s into 60s was the was Mafia 3.
hmm
So this one's like earliest of 1900s.
Yeah,
18.
probably like early.
So I can't wait because it's that's what I like about the Mafia series in general. The architecture in the game tells an accurate it's told pretty accurately.
hmm
So you're pretty much used to you're going to be used to um using a time machine. Like I loved when they put the Playboy stuff, um the Playboy collectibles in the Mafia 2 series. That was lit. I wish I don't know if they return with that in the next one or not. I can't remember, but I did like the style. Like
Mm,
collectibles as a concept for any video game. I really like that.
yeah.
Just as long as they're not annoying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because like I know, because usually I'm not the biggest like collectathon guy personally. It's just like I just play the game to get the experience and then I call it a day. But it's rare for me to have a game that like makes me go out of my way to get collectibles. It is very rare for something like that to happen.
Basically, the majority of the Batman series,
Oh
I
yeah, yeah. You went for Riddler
I
trophies and all that stuff.
yeah, I've gone for platinum, and
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be because I was gonna try to do a stream with Expedition 33 to try to platinum the game on Xbox, but yeah, with the internet situation, I was like, I think I might just make it a playthrough, or like I'll just have like for like footage, and I'll just go play it like offline, shit like that. So
Exactly.
yeah, because like,
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I
hmm
very much love to. I very much love to complete all that. I'm basically gonna do this for Hogwarts Legacy.
there you go.
I think I'm at 60% for challenges.
Oh, you still kind of got a long way.
A little bit, but here's the thing. Uh, okay, there you go. Here's a little cool topic. Do you okay in an open world game like this one? Do I love to take my time and do the tasks first, like the extra shit first, and then at the end, I'm
Then
literally gonna complete,
you
like
do the
complete
main
the entire.
mission.
Yeah,
Okay, I know what you. So yeah, that's. I'm not gonna lie. That was me with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like the opportunity for me to do a side quest before the main story is like I'm going straight to the side quest stuff. I'm not because I want to like I'm trying to like min max, um, like my characters. Especially because Rebirth like really rewarded you doing side quests. Like you actually got like good like weapons and materia. So
exactly.
like in a way, so you're kind of like doing the same thing like in open world where like you're min maxing.
Oh man, let me tell you, because at the end, like I don't want to come back. You know what I mean? I
I mean,
don't want to.
it kind
I
of
just
yeah. I think like at some point, yeah, you do sort of get the feeling because like I even had that feeling with Expedition, where like when I was streaming it, I was like, I'm just trying to beat the story. Like I will do this side content on my own time. Like once I got to the third act of the game, because
yeah.
that's when like I unlocked something that got me to access other parts of the game. And I was like, I'm not strong enough to do this. I will come back.
See, that's what I liked about Fallout.
Yeah,
If you could dodge that enemy, there's no telling where you'll end up in the game.
yeah. Like you find a
Like,
fucking you fight like you go into like an area and there's like three death claws that you have to fight to
yes.
get to an area. And you're like, yeah,
Oh man,
fuck
let me tell
that.
you. Me, me and Jonathan. Oh my god! Every time we were playing that game, they're like, "Wait, what are you doing?" I'm just fighting a deathclaw. What are you doing? Like,
See, all
you are
you have to say just death claw and that already was like an eyebrow raiser right there.
like you gotta freaking. And I just so happen to have the lowest. Like, okay, I had low guns,
Oh no.
but I had a lot of ammo.
So you were praying you had enough ammo to kill it.
And if I had it in the right angles, I could freaking what's it called? I could
Harvest the meat.
if I was in the right angles, I could hit it with a with a hammer or some shit. Like I'm like, dude, all right, fuck it, you know what I mean? And then you would gain more XP that way, like because you didn't have it to begin with. I
You're
was
literally
like,
fighting something that's like so severe you're so severely under leveled to be fighting that.
ridiculous. Oh shoot.
I mean, that's what Elden Ring kind of did too for me. Or that's why I appreciate Elden Ring's open world because there is technically a set story path for the game, but you literally could go anywhere else just to like make your character stronger. And it respects your time. That's what I liked about
Right.
Elden Ring's open world is that you get rewarded for going elsewhere. Like
Yeah.
here's the crazy thing about Elden Ring. About 80% of its content is side quests or like side stuff.
That's what I like. Like it's
That's why I always tell
but
people should play Elden Ring. At least try like playing it for like 10 hours at you know at minimum. And if it jives with you there, cool. If it doesn't, you gave it a shot.
exactly. Like it's what I would like to say. It's that one had a lot of psychedelic elements that I really liked. There was a lot of elements of like uh like British
The British architecture, and then just like shit.
it's weird. Okay, there's an artist that did the Yellow Submarine sketches and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it reminded me a lot of that. It reminded me a lot of Dali, Salvador Dali. Like a lot of imagery like giant elephants with like
Oh, like
towers.
like very grand, like stuff.
And that was the Dark Souls effect. You know what I mean? Where like
Mm-hmm.
it looks so beautiful, it tells a story like, "Oh yeah, this is all from somewhere." Like you can find this actual place like in Italy or some shit like that. Like I like that aspect of that game. Like although you are like you're a knight essentially, like fighting through purgatory and shit and like similar concepts like that. You're 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 learning history at the same time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what I like about uh the Harry Potter universe in general is that it's derived a lot of the stuff is from like Portuguese culture and Spanish culture and it's very Eurocentric and that's what I love about it. And so that's part of the whole, you know, mysterious aesthetic for that whole brand. But yeah,
Yep. That's
Jared, you there?
yeah. I'm sorry. I like blanked out. I was like,
Ah, Jared, how dare you?
I know I'm doing terrible as a host.
No, we're all right. We're all right. We're doing fine.
But
But the one time we like, all right.
uh, but yeah, like that's just kind of like the big thing about like open worlds, like is always like having those like having that moment when you're just looking at the open world itself, because the second that like I have a game that does that to me, I was just like, oh, I'm in for a fucking ride, aren't I? And that's kind of like what makes me want to like I even want to play like other like open world games. Like I think the big one that I have to play at some point, Cyberpunk. After all the updates that fixed it, like I gotta play this game now.
I'm telling you.
And then with Edge Runners as well, getting a season 2, I'm like I gotta. Well, I'm kind of like debating it. I'm probably gonna watch Edge Runners first, and I'm probably gonna cry for it because I know it's supposed to be super emotional. And
Uh,
then, yeah, but only time will tell on that one. Um,
but only time will tell.
yes,
It's
alright.
it's only waiting for Godot. It's only a waiting for Godot reference.
Yeah, but
Oh man, I miss
anything,
that play.
any last things we want to close out on, or think think
We- we've talked a little. We've
we've talked
talked
a
to a hefty
bit of
bit.
everything. Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's a good place to end it off. So so just a heads up for anyone who did make it to this part of the podcast. Thank you guys very much for watching or listening. So next week we may have a staggered release in terms of the podcast. I do have family coming over, so I'm not 100% sure if I'll be able to have time to record next week's pod, but only time will again, time will tell. We have a week. We have a week to figure that part out. But if there is no episode for maybe like the next few weeks is gonna be a little weird in terms of the pod. I may even do like double recording, just
Mhm.
to fill in the times. Until until then, thank you, Josh, for hopping on this one.
Hell yeah.
And where can everyone find you?
You can find me at Read Your Mind. That's at RDYRMND.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will have his Instagram page linked down below. Do we have a YouTube yet for you?
You can put the same name in the YouTube link and you'll find my music
Yeah,
actually.
there you go. Yeah, give his stuff a listen, guys. Give it a listen. So it's great music. And I am your host, Zero Requiem 14, the host of the Off the Top podcast, the most unprofessional professional podcast in the YouTube space. Thank you
Oh,
guys.
yes.
And like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will be back on the next podcast and probably another video. We'll see. And
Oh,
thank
yeah.
thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time. Take care, drive safe, have a good day, good night whenever you're listening to this. We'll see you then.